Now we can officially say, I think, that we are now live from the Gazebo. We have our guest, Leslie Avila. You might know her as Delightful or Delight is Full. So, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, because I have so many introductions for you, but you go ahead and tell the people who you are.
Yeah, man, it's hard. A lot of people ask me, like, who are you and what do you really do? I'm like, So my name's Leslie. I go by Les or Delightful. I'm in the middle of building my brand, which I chose the word delightful because, life is supposed to be delightful, and delightful is like, oh, this is such a delightful experience or a delightful event or a delightful food. And so I'm trying to make everything that connects to my brand delightful. And long term under this, I lead yoga sessions, I lead meditation, I have a podcast, I am a poet and a writer as well. What else do I do? I'm an activist in the community and many more things that I'll probably say throughout. I'm a vegan, I'm plant-based.
Yes. There is many sides to you, and that's what I was like, I can't even introduce her because I'd say one thing and leave out another, and I'm like, just let her, do her thing. So
I still leave out some stuff.
Yeah, exactly, because that's the mystique. Exactly.
Thank you. You get it.
I do. Yeah, there has to be something. So. Well, this sort of episode falls in line with our last guest. I don't know if you've ever been to House of Vegans yet.
Yes.
That spot. I had the owners of them. I
House
saw
of
the
Vegans
clips. On. So have you been? Did you like it? Did you enjoy it? I had a slap burger. You know what I'm saying? I enjoyed it.
Did you like it? Not being vegan?
My first vegan burger, you know what I'm saying? My first plant-based burger, but I did enjoy it, honestly. I love the sweet potato fries. I need to go back for the soul food, honestly. I need to get some of the mac and cheese, some of that chicken, or the soy-based chicken, you know what I'm saying? All that.
Yes, I definitely did go to House of Vegans. I like their burgers a lot. I'm a big, sometimes you still get cravings for that hearty, texture in your mouth, which comes usually from meat. So that vegan burger, that plant-based burger hits a spot whenever I have those cravings. Their fried cauliflower, on point. And it's always nice to see a small business locally made by, folks. So I support the whole message behind it.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's just one side. Like I said in what I was telling them, being vegan is sort of a lifestyle where it comes with much more spiritual enlightenment, cultural enlightenment too. So tell me a little bit about how the vegan lifestyle has been for you and sort of what it means to you beyond just the diet.
So I like to say plant-based because no one's perfect, and my mom makes real good food, you know what I'm saying? And if I never eat meat, chicken or meat again, but if we make some plátanos and some cheese sneaks in there, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna not eat it. There's a famous Spanish cake called tres leches, which is a 3-milk cake. If it's someone's birthday, you know what I'm saying? I'm eating it. So there's a lot of, I like to call myself plant-based, and it also gives you a lot of leeway and not pressure, like we were talking about earlier, to be something that we're not and to force ourselves to do something that feels ultimately tight. But I first started the plant-based lifestyle because I was really seeing how the factories here in America work regarding animal production and just whether it's meat or dairy or even eggs, the dairy industry is disgusting and the meat industry is disgusting for real. If my family's from Ecuador and you have a chicken in your backyard and you cut it for dinner, you know what I'm saying? That do your thing. I don't judge that. You know what I'm saying? I love that. It gives honor and respect to that. So the the plant-based lifestyle first started for me to open up my eyes to how humans put themselves ahead of other life kingdoms and other life sectors, other species, yes. And that's what it first started to do to me. How are we seeing ourselves in regards to other people? What's the equality between us and animals, and what's the respect that we have for other lives on this planet? And that's how it started for me. It's a lot when you really look at it and think about how mindlessly we eat these animals. You know what I'm saying? You can still be healthy and eat meat. I've never been the type of vegan person to be you're nasty.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Judge you for eating that.
No, yeah. I'm not that person. You go do what you want to do. But as long as you know what you're eating, even if I'm eating plants, I know that is an organism, that was put here and that I'm able to nourish my body with. So You know, it's a lot about mindfully eating, respectfully, and honoring what is put in front of you, and then respecting the energy that, and the cosmic energy, the cosmic oneness that was able to bring this plate of food in front of me, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of mindful eating, preparing of food. When you're plant-based, you can't just, you know, be on the road and grab some fast food because there's barely any food for you. Even if you eat still fries from a fast food place, once you start becoming plant-based, you realize you're becoming plant-based not just not to eat animals, but to do better for yourself as well. So you can still eat fries, you know what I'm saying, from a fast food shop, but eventually over time you will start to realize, like, why did I truly become plant-based? And so the time it takes for you to prepare and to respect your body enough to say, I know I'm going to be hungry tomorrow, so an hour today to cook my food for tomorrow is worth it because I'm worth it. I'm worth good food. My body deserves good food. I deserve good food. I don't deserve nasty food. You know, I love myself that much. It goes so deep. I just went everywhere.
No, treating our bodies like a temple. I've always heard that, but a lot of people don't live that. They, you know what I'm saying? They don't practice what they preach. They say, oh, well, I care about my body. I want to do well for myself, but at the end of the day, we're all victims to, like you said, what we don't want to eat and what we put into our body. That's really what we are. And especially you went everywhere on that one.
There's too much. I need
I
need structure.
No, but the plant-based lifestyle has brought to you a lot more, like I said, enlightenment in a lot of different areas, and it probably brought you a lot more like-minded people in your life too that have been culturally the same way as you. They think the same way as far as your visions or your beliefs and things of that nature. So tell me about, I know you do a plant-based potluck as well.
Yeah.
So tell me about how that has transpired and sort of like your vision for that, sort of like, and how that's been personally for you.
So the first, I don't know if you saw my video on Instagram, but I put up a video explaining, like, how did these potlucks start? Like, why did I start these potlucks? And the reason was I was starting to become plant-based, and I was like seeing a lot of pictures of people cooking food, vegan food, and I was like, I want to try people's food. And I was really like sneaky with it, and I was like, how do I get people to cook for me? How do I get people to cook for me, and how do I allow myself to exchange and give them, reciprocate for them, you know what I'm saying? Not just take and not give, which is another part of being vegan, right? We take all this from Mother Nature. What do we give back to the animal? You know, what do we give back to Mother Nature? But so the plant-based potluck started like that, and you know, I started to slowly attract and some of the people that I randomly, you know, met through there, they randomly saw my flyer on Facebook or Instagram and came, are now my best friends, which is the coolest thing ever.
That is awesome.
Right. And so pretty much once a month we get together, and everyone that wants to eat must bring a vegan meal. There's no animals allowed in the food. Outside the food, yes, bring your dog, you know. And we get together and we just enjoy food together, and it's just a night of dinner where we realize, damn, like, we ate all this good food and I didn't have to harm no life in the making of it. And it opens a lot of people's eyes up too, because they're like, yo, and I'd like to invite a lot of non-vegan people, a lot of people that eat meat. A lot of my friends aren't vegan or plant-based, or they're transitioning. So when they come, it gives them the opportunity to say, yo, that was good. Like, what's in that? Oh, it's just chickpeas and onions and carrots, like, and water. What do you mean? Like, it's mind-blowing to see how much good food, you know, can come out of plants and no animals. So it's one of my favorite things I do. I meet people all the time. People meet each other. People are best friends. You know, they hang out without me now, you know, that met at my potlucks. So that makes me really happy, because like-minded people are starting to come together and, you know, see that we can take our time and cook food. And it's so rewarding when you take your time and cook food. It takes up a lot of time. Today I didn't cook, I ordered out. But when you cook that food with no animals, it's so rewarding for you to see, like, I made this. No life was harmed in the making of this, and I'm feeding my body what it deserves to be fed, which is super cool. And I hope that, you know, every month we can still do this. I don't know where I want it to go. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have any big plans for it. Although I know blessings are on their way. You know what I'm saying? We plant a seed and the fruit of the tree shall come. So I don't know. You got me thinking now. I hope something does crazy come out of it that
I would like to see that. Hopefully, maybe it become more widespread, or maybe it becomes sort of like a trend that people pick up on. Maybe like even that you without you knowing. You know what I'm saying? Like the influence spreads without it being linked to you directly. That's what I like too. Where it's like, oh wow, I inspired something that I might never even hear about, but that's the best part because that energy is already out there, and it's like people are catching on to it. I feel like that with the podcast too, and with the community cleanups that we're doing as well. I kind of want to speak on that too. You're involved with the group One Street at a Time. We're going to be doing a cleanup here on the 20th, September 20th. Look out for that. That might be the first public announcement.
That is the first public announcement.
Yeah, we don't sound like have to announce that, but either way, you've been a part of stuff like that. You want to give back to the area too, and that's just sort of what we want to give back to it with this podcast too is we're about the community. We're about giving back to people in this environment, in the earth as well too. So there's so much that we want to do with this and that I want to do, but speak on sort of how that group and sort of like the community cleanups and sort of like the giving back and the activism, how that affects your life.
I'm so happy that you even, because you're the one that came up with the September 20th, like date, so.
Me and my friend Kevin Davis, gotta shout out my man, born for this, you know what I'm saying?
There you go, okay.
So yeah, we're collabing a little bit on these types of things.
That's wonderful because you have a platform. And I have a platform. Kevin probably has a platform, and another person probably has a platform. Tony Frazier, that's also part of One Street at a Time. That's the founder of One Street at a Time. So everyone, shout out Tony. So everyone has a platform, and we can reach different people and invite different people out that wouldn't otherwise come out to clean the streets. And some people might not even care to clean up, but they want to be a part of Live from the Gazebo. Or they want to finally meet Delightful. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how you come out.
Or they want a shirt from Born for This. Or they actually want to come and clean up. And they want to be that type of activism.
Exactly. Right. Any type of way you come out is the best way. So as many platforms. So shout out to you for putting that together, and Kevin, which is super dope. But so giving back in general is a really huge topic. So I'm going to narrow it down to giving back to Mother Nature. Like you said, you eventually want to start talking about psychedelics, but as I was in the midst of taking psychoactive substances, like there's a big lesson that comes up about, your mother, and not just your mother here on earth and the person who birthed you here, because everyone's born from a womb, not just anybody with a womb down here on earth, but the mother in general of life itself, tree of life, Mother Earth, you know what I'm saying? So there was a lot of messages and visions and sounds and feelings regarding how dare I be birthed without giving honor and respect to the womb, the tree, and the seed who birthed me. And whether or not you are spiritual, it doesn't matter. Look up. There's trees, there's clouds, there's a sun. Trees give us, that oxygen, that exchange of CO2 and oxygen. Sunlight we're able to see with sun. Where air, oxygen flows through air, you know what I'm saying? Plants and food and vegetables and fruits are grown from the ground up or from the trees down. And so how dare we not recognize what we are given? Whether or not you don't eat vegetables, all right, let's say you never eat salads. You would not be alive without trees, without the sun, and without the air. That's just out rivers. And
and we're so lucky to have this right now. So thankful that we're able to sip on this.
Right, and people, we think water bottles and then sewage system and then water fountains, but where does that come from? The oceans, streams, rivers, creeks. That's Mother Nature. So that was a big part of me giving back, is me doing my duty, me doing just me remembering my roots and really honoring life and always giving thanks. Damn, man, imagine getting fed every day and never saying thank you to the hands that feed you. Imagine, getting a ride to work every day, never saying thank you to what gives you a ride. Imagine getting money every day, never saying thank you to the people who give you money. That's your duty. To just to reciprocate that energy, and we kind of have lost that. You know what I'm saying? We want to take and never give, and a lot of that also comes from fear. You know what I'm saying? If I give, I'm not gonna have any left for myself. That fear of the opposite of abundance. A fear of scarcity.
Yeah, exactly.
The fear of scarcity, but that's not. We were not taught right if we think that the world is scarce. You know what I'm saying? Is this fear of scarcity and And yeah, there's an abundance for everything. And I started to realize, the more I give, the more I get, man. The more you give, the more you get, whether it's money or love or energy or cleanup, you know what I'm saying? Like every time, I pick up like a can or a plastic bag from a tree, like I just imagine like this woman just like, finally able to like spread her arms out and just like, she's like, thank you. You just allowed me to move my arm. Haven't been able to move my arm in the last 5 years because of that plastic bag. You know what I'm saying? So, and I don't ask for nothing back. You know what I'm saying? It comes. It naturally will come back.
It is.
But I don't ask for anything because that's my duty. Karma. I was already given life. That is enough. That's enough. That's enough.
And that's a beautiful perspective. And a lot of people, they need to have a realization of the things that are given to them. And like I said, the gratitude of people and just the little things that we have and appreciate. And shout out to my man, Weston Gaiman. And I'm not going to lie, because I know you have a Perspectives podcast, but he really changed my perspective in my life too. Meeting him and the things that he's able to accomplish. It's like a lot of people don't have that perspective in life and take the gratitude of being able to feed ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Go up and walk to the store. Go up and do the things that we can physically, mentally, whether it's anything of that nature. And the capabilities that we have, we should never take for granted. And the things that are able to beautifully, beautifully enjoy a day like this. I mean, imagine that you couldn't be able to see the sun today, or you couldn't smell the sound, or you couldn't hear the sounds. It's just certain things like that we have to be more appreciative of. And I think that platforms like ours, they bring a lot hard-hitting topics to people.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Like we talked about giving gratitude, right, to Mother Nature and to whoever is like, feeding us, or to whoever gives us whatever we may have. But also, like, a big part of it is giving gratitude to yourself, like self-love, and like giving yourself thanks. We're so hard on ourselves so much of the time, me being number one. Like, we want to do more. We want to be more. You're not doing enough. You did this wrong. Why you always do that wrong? Why you always get there late? Why do you always gotta fuck this up? Why you? And we're so hard. Yeah, you feel that?
Yeah,
we're so hard on ourselves. And the thing is, the number one person on your team, your team captain, is you. Imagine you're a coach of a soccer team, and the team captain, you're like, you're a piece of shit. You're not doing this right. You're not doing that right. Blah, 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 blah. You think your team captain isn't going to feel so angry where he's going to go out on the field one day and be like, man, fuck that. Fuck you. I don't got to live up to you or what you're telling me because you're so rude. We do not like rude people in general. When someone's rude to us, it's hard to give nice back. So imagine you giving your team captain one of the rudest judgments ever. You think you're going to show up for yourself? You're going to end up hating yourself. You're going to end up hating the coach. You're the coach and the team captain. You got to watch how you talk to yourself, because you're one day not going to show up for yourself, and you're going to be pissed that you're not doing enough for yourself. You're going to be like, guess what? It's because you fucking hurt my feelings, Les. Talking about, you know what I'm saying? You hurt my feelings. Why would I do good for you? Why would I do what you want me to do? You're rude about it. And that is the weirdest thing, right? We're talking about the two people in the same body, but it really is like that ego, mind, thought, talking to higher consciousness, to soul, to spirit, Leslie. So, mind is like, Leslie, why don't you do this? Soul's like, damn, my bad. I messed up. You know what I'm saying? Right. Yeah. And that's the biggest thing, like, and it's something that I'm learning. That's why I can speak so passionately about it, is because I'm currently learning it alongside everybody. You know what I'm saying? Is like being your best friend, just saying thank you. You even showed up. You know what I'm saying? I was 2 minutes late, Tyler, and I swear on the car here, I was like, why are you always late places? And I was like, Leslie, you got up out the house, you got in the car, and you made it. That's good enough. You did it. I could have stayed asleep. You could have canceled. I've done it. You know what I'm saying? I got in the car. Thank you for getting in the car and at least showing up. At least showing up for yourself. Taking that first step. It's hard. You know what I'm saying? Things are easy in life, but they're also hard. And, giving thanks to yourself. And then after you've done, so giving thanks that I even got here. And then after I leave, like, loving myself for, speaking on what I spoke. Like, love you, Les. See it, peace.
Thank you so much. If you're not going to thank yourself, well, thank you for your time, honestly, Leslie. This has been, even in just this short time, eye-opening for me. So
a pleasure, man. Thank you for inviting me here.
What is the energy that you bring to your live events and to your live poetry?
Super cool. So first of all, shout out to Shelly If You're Nasty. She's the host of the open mics at La Cultura. Shout out to Elise, Shorty Dope. But literally every time I come to an open mic or I speak my poetry into a video or in person, and this is going to be a reoccurring pattern in this podcast, I try to bring the realest Leslie I can. I love to be, just be myself and not having to be anybody that I'm not. You know what I'm saying? And that allows me to shine because we're all unique, right? Why do you want to come to an open mic and be just as good as the guy before you? Why do you want to be like him?
Or sound just like that.
Or sound
bring
just
that same feeling. I get you.
Or rap the way he did, or move the legs the way he did, or use the stage the way he did. Why do you want to do it like him? I hate when, people have their ways. I've never been the type of person to be like, I want to be like you when I grow up. No. I want to be like Les. Because Les is different. Leslie is so different. And in the past, I've been one of the two or three only people who do poetry, and everybody else is rapping. And beforehand, you get nervous, and I'm like, damn, like, what if I do this different, or what if I sound more like I'm rapping it? What if I add a rhythm to it? But that's not what makes me me. You know what I'm saying? So right before, I'm just like, you came here to be Leslie. So show everybody what's Leslie, and that's how people come to love you, your brand. That's how you come to be a unique brand. The spotlight's on you is because you have your own way of doing things. And so I try to, 'cause my poetry is very different, in my opinion. I hope, yes, I am, because there's no one like me in the world. So when I go up there, I know that I'm different because I'm me, and as long as I keep being me, I'm gonna keep being different. I really try to bring that, and then I can show up and be the best me possible. Because it's Leslie raw, no edits.
I love it. Your opinion on the area and sort of like the future of like the Harrisburg area, whether it's culturally, whether it's in business, whether it's in arts, whatever the things that you're passionate about. Where do you see like this area going forward?
I honestly think Harrisburg is coming up. I hate when people say, I don't like Harrisburg boring. I gotta get out of here. I'm like, you just not involved in the right places. You don't know the right people, my man. You got boring friends. That's what you got.
Sounds like it.
Because what you do and your environment depends on the people that are around you. You just got boring friends. That's what it is, my mate. You know what I'm saying? Open mics at La Cultura. Eat your art out events at La Cultura. Podcasts, cleanup days. You know what I'm saying? Brunch, Project 1500. Shout out to Marpo.
Shout out to Marpo, man. In the future.
Funny ass Marpo.
Yeah, Marpo's the best.
He's individual. He's unique as fuck.
He's pushing this area forward in a lot of ways too. So
shout out to everybody. SB Fitness. You know what I'm saying? They're starting to get people. Their personal trainers. Shout out to them. Starting to get people. Work out with them alongside them. It doesn't take a lot. So I really see Harrisburg really becoming tight-knit. Like everyone's starting to meet everybody else. All these networks and groups of people are starting to network with each other and starting to collab and collide. A lot of different people are meeting, and why not? That's how events happen. When this person and this person meet, this person does art and this person does this, and then this is a videographer you met 2 events ago. You know what I'm saying? That's how an event becomes, is when people meet each other and have different but similar passions. So I think Harrisburg is super coming up, super getting tight-knit. Everyone's getting to know each other, and everyone wants better. Why do we want to be sitting in the crib on a Saturday evening with nothing to do? So I feel like a lot of creatives are like, you know what? No one is doing it. I got to do it myself. And that's what's happening in Harrisburg. No one's doing anything, so people are starting to start it themselves. You want to see this in Harrisburg? All right, so come on. People come to me with ideas like, I think we should do this. I'm like, all right, so let's go. You know what I'm saying? You got to, let's go. Meet. You free tomorrow? Let's plan it out. It's about us bringing to Harrisburg. How do we want to see Harrisburg? We got to do it. It's up to nobody but us. So if we want an event that's not happening, you know what I'm saying? Then we got to do it.
People sort of expect it though. It's like, oh, well, nobody's doing anything. What are you doing? That's what I ask. Like, I was asking myself that same shit. I'm like, the fuck are you doing though? Like for the area, like are you involved, or when's the last time you did anything that was like outside of doing something on the normal day-to-day shit that you was doing? Like seriously. So I think that I agree the whole thing that is this area is up and coming in a lot of different ways. So I try and tap in with a lot of different people. So and I see that people are doing amazing things out of this area. And it's not even like, oh, I'm doing things for this area. No, you're going to put on and you're going to look back and say, man, nobody really supported me there, man. Like, I didn't really get a love back home. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't want people to say that. I want people to be like, yo, Harrisburg really ride for they really rode for me. Like, until I left, like, it was like, that's how I made it. I wouldn't be there without the city. I wouldn't be there without these people in my area. A lot of people aren't like that. It's like, man, I didn't get no love there.
You really got to give props. You know what I'm saying?
Before they're gone, seriously.
Yeah.
Honestly.
That's how, and Marpo talks a lot about this too, like on his Twitter, you know what I'm saying? Like, damn, now people showing me love. People used to bully me back then, you know, and that's how I feel. You know, I got bullied in middle school, as everybody does, but a lot, you know, I got called weird a lot. Weird's a touchy word for me. If you still say weird to me, I'm like, shut up.
It's an adjective that touches a little bit.
Yeah, because I got called weird and loud and annoying a lot. But guess what? My loud ass out here, and everybody's like, yo, Leslie, you're doing such good things. I'm like, yeah, because I'm loud.
You're being you.
I'm being me. But because I have this loud ass voice, I was able to start up the camera and start this podcast, which is how you know me since you've known me in middle school. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I
get you, man.
All of that. All of that.
Oh, goodness.
All of that.
And you're an advocate in a lot of different ways, whether it's for immigrant rights, whether it's for human rights, whether it's for psychedelics, whether it's for an advocate for mental health awareness, whether it's for well-being of our bodies. There's so many things that you sort of put your passions into. And I think I believe you came out to the marches for the Black Lives Matter and for, you know what I'm saying, the police reform and all of the things that are going on in this country. And there's a lot of sensitive issues in that way. And I just want to say that, like, I appreciate, you know what I'm saying, the messages that you've been bringing, and whether it's through your platforms that you have. And just speak a little bit about how being an activist and being active in the communities that you have sort of has brought you to new people, new experiences, and what it means to you. Yeah,
man. Like, first of all, like, the reason why I started, and thank you for recognizing the advocacy, and, you know, whether or not you or someone that follows you and you maybe have shared it, anybody, you know what I'm saying? Like, shout out to us for spreading the message of whatever we're trying to spread, because that's how, like, world change happens. That's how world reform happens, you know? I always say to people, like, what's your long-term goal? I'm like, I'm trying to change the world. Plain and simple. People get scared. How are you going to do that? You know, there's a lot of steps. There's a lot of people in the world. How are you going to do that? How are you going to do that? Blah, 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 blah. But, like, the best way to do that, and for me, the best way that I found that I can affect and benefit the world is by spreading a message. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's on Instagram and just sharing a post and putting up a little bit of words about it, spreading awareness, you know what I'm saying, is the best thing that you could do. Because think about, let's talk about immigrant rights. How has me being aware and mindful of immigrant rights and immigration policy in this country, how has it affected me? How has it opened my eyes, and how has it made me change the way that I live or make decisions? And if it's done it for the better, right, some things are negative, some things are positive, but as long as it helps you grow and try new things, I feel like it's positive. So if it's helped me for the positive, this awareness and this mindfulness, then why wouldn't I want to help the next person bring this awareness into their life? And so advocacy just happens when you naturally want other people to feel the way that you felt when you first became aware of this or that topic. You know what I'm saying? And just like you said, like, a lot of people are like, hey, I fight for these rights too. You want to connect on this platform, and then we can make bigger projects. Then we can spread a message or start a campaign with 2 platforms now rather than 1. The more people you got on your team, the better. The more people that you have spreading the message, the wider it'll get, because everybody knows somebody that you don't know. And so when you're spreading a message and someone hits you up and say, hey, I feel the same way, let's do something about it, we create an event. 2 people with 2 different platforms come together, create an event. You got crazy, you know, you got a bunch of new people coming in to meet you and to meet the other person. I feel like events, projects, campaigns, change, reform happens when different people from different areas come together and are able to bring their communities and their platforms into the same place and then explode, you know,
Collaboration, I felt, is key in a lot of ways. Like, doing things solo, that'll get you a lot of ways. It'll get you somewhere. If you can make it all on your own, congrats to you. If you had no help along the way, I don't think anybody has.
I was about to say, I don't think that's
if you can claim that and say, I didn't do this, I did it all on my own.
You're forgetting.
Yeah, people think that it's like, what about the first time that somebody shared your post, liked your post, that did this, did that? Like, I'm always going to be supportive of the people that have tuned in, watched, whether it's one time. You gave me 1 minute of your time just to tune in to whatever I have to say or whatever you have to say or another guest. It makes my day. You know what I'm saying? Like, every like I look at, for right now, like I get to that point where I hopefully can get to the point where I'm not looking at every comment and every post and this and that. But to me, it means something though, because it means like, oh wow, this person took a minute of their day to appreciate what I've created, or I took the time to post. So, and the messages that I bring, they're not always positive. I can't say that. I can't say it's always something to be impactful or change something. But at the end of the day, I want people to enjoy themselves.
That's
and enjoy
positive.
Their time
That's
here.
positivity.
Seriously, I post things that I like. And like, if I enjoy it, I want you to enjoy it. And if it makes 1 minute of your day better, that's what I'm here for. So.
And you know what I'm saying? Let me blow your mind real quick. So you saw something that made you laugh and smile on Instagram, and then you shared it, and you made someone else laugh. Are you not changing the world? Are you not making somebody smile that maybe had a horrible ass day? And then that person can go on and go to the grocery store at night, or go see their parents, or go see their partner. And because you put up a post that made them smile, they're no longer grumpy from that day. So now they're spreading positivity to one more person. And then that person's going to wake up the next day and think about that person that smiled the next day. And then they can go into work and see the 5 people that they work with and then put smiles on their faces. And then they're like, oh shit. And then, you know what I'm saying? Like,
connectivity.
Yeah, so like when I say changing the world, it seems so big, but I'm going to never stop using that word because it makes people scared. And I'm like, yeah, get scared. We're changing the world.
If your ideas don't scare people, you're not thinking like big enough, honestly.
There you go. That's why I believe, you know, by posting funny shit. Like, I posted up a video of this guy sucking this girl's toes at a stoplight, at a red light in a car. That shit was so funny to me.
That doesn't correlate with any other message. But at the end of the day, that's what's funny. Like,
it made me smile, and it made another person smile. We're just trying to spread joy. If the only thing you can do is spread just funny things, comedians, they're the best people on the planet. They make people laugh. I love comedians.
It's the best job in the world.
They're relieving you. They're relieving you of tension and bringing it out through laughter. What better than that, man? You know?
I love it.
Yeah, little shit like that. Sucking the toes at the stoplight. That shit was so funny.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And so, we're probably, it seems like we're going to do yoga here probably at some point.
Yeah,
it seems like, and
awesome.
Jennifer came out and was like, oh, we need to do some yoga. So how's that been for you, like doing yoga sessions, being a yoga teacher and meditation leader and things of that nature too? So being a group leader in that way, sort of like you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
How's that been for you as well?
You know, the word yoga teacher has been so whitewashed, capitalized, forgotten, misconstrued, and just, you know, just twirled up. And yoga teacher, like, I am no teacher, first of all. You know what I'm saying?
Instructor,
just
maybe.
Yeah, I like to say leader. That's what you said, meditation leader.
Yeah.
But I still, when I do yoga for some places, they introduce me as your yoga teacher. It was going to be Leslie today. You know, I'm not going to make a big deal about it. Whatever. But like, being a yoga leader in a group, you know, yoga session leader, really made me realize that, like, you know, it just humbles the fuck out of you. It humbles me so much, because you realize that you got blessed and honored in order to have a skill set and some knowledge in order to bring that to other people and to help other people with that skill set. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to teach you anything. I'm trying to show you what I know and help you expand your own knowledge about that. And so,
your guide.
Exactly. So being that has been really humbling and eye-opening. I like it. It challenges me every day. I put someone in a position and they're like, this hurts. And I'm like, you right, I'm wrong. And I'm like, you tell me what feels good. And they're like, well, this feels good. And I'm like, okay. And then I take a pause and I think about how we can make sure that their alignment and posture is correct in that position, because it feels good. So who am I to say, no, your body's wrong? You know, I never know. Yoga's about you. So if that position feels good, now how can I help you make sure you maintain your alignment and posture so that you don't hurt yourself and, put your muscles in a way that would eventually be harmful for your body in the long term. And then I adjust. My students are my teachers. The people that come into class are my teachers. It challenges you every day. You got to make sure that because someone's relying on you to help them feel better. Someone's relying on you to help them stretch and to help them reach, a state of peace and calmness. And so I'm like, well, I got to show up for that person. They're relying on me as a guide to do that for them. So that's the way that being a yoga instructor and leader has changed me. Being a yoga student has changed my life forever. Yoga was the first time in my life that I had a structured education about spirituality. You learn about spirituality through meditation, through your own meditation, through books, etc. But this was a structured educational class, educational course, which looped back to spirituality most of the time. The physical practice of yoga is poses. But yoga is actually not just poses. Yoga is a philosophy of life. Yoga is a way of living. To yoga means to yoke, which means to union, to bring together, to bring home, to bring together. And so what are we trying to bring together? Our mind, body, and soul. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people aren't spiritual. They don't like that. They just like to stretch. So I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Let's just focus on the physical part of yoga. But yoga has really, the ancient yogic sage Patanjali came up with the eight limbs of yoga, like a table, and we have 8 legs to it. And the poses are just one part of it. A lot of other things are your breathing, what you do on a day-to-day basis, etc. And so being a yoga student in this course really allowed me to open my eyes and, learn and be quiet. Be quiet in order to learn from somebody else who has been studying it for a very long time. Own my yoga studios in Mechanicsburg. Rachel Wilson and Ulysses are the owners, and they're really 2 humble beings, man. They're real cool. They've been studying it. They've been doing the work, and they come to you the same way I come to you, which, a lot of that has come, honor your teachers. They come to you like, man, I get nervous teaching this even after 15 years. And I'm like, what do you mean? So they also opened their eyes to me, like we're learning alongside each other at all times, no matter how long you've been doing whatever. And I still get nervous, saying doing anything. So yoga really, really is very interesting, man. And the yoga that has been capitalized off of is the yoga where you're doing these positions with your body, and the yoga that costs $20 a class, and the yoga that you need yoga leggings for, and the yoga that you need this for, and you need a nice headband, a specific type. I barely use a yoga mat. I do yoga on my damn floor. You know what I'm saying? So that yoga really makes people feel like yoga is unattainable, yoga is hard, yoga is only for flexible people, and that's not the truth at all. Yoga, only 1/8 of yoga in the ancient, Patanjali's words, is only 1/8 of yoga. You know what I'm saying? So, people be really interested when I just lay flat on my back and I'm like, all right, this is the first yoga pose. They're like, what, just laying down? I'm like, yes. You know what I'm saying? And I love teaching yoga because I teach yoga to my friends who have never tried yoga, who have never thought about going to yoga, because a lot of yoga studios are predominantly white people. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to go. I felt uncomfortable. I was looking around. I was like, everybody knew what was going on, and I didn't. I thank God I took that step for myself, and here I am. So a lot of the yoga I do is with friends. I don't even call it yoga. I'd be like, come stretch with me, girl. I call it relaxation sessions sometimes, because I'm just trying to introduce you to this way of relaxing and releasing that isn't mixed up with the yoga that's on the media.
Yeah, whatever you think yoga is. Yeah, it can be tailored to what is needed for you too. So I think that's probably the best part of the things that you do, is where you can tailor it to where meditation or to exercise or to yoga, anything, it can be tailored to what people actually want in their lives too. So
exactly,
that's the most beautiful part, I think.
Adjusting to your clientele, adjusting to your friend, adjusting to whoever, the stranger that comes in, adjusting to them and being like, what you need? What do you think you need? And then
that's sort of like you're manifesting what they need in what you're bringing out too. It's like, okay, what are you trying to accomplish with this yoga as a leader? you're like, okay, what are you trying to accomplish with this session? I need to bring that out of you. I need to be doing the right things to bring that emotion or bring that physical or whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. So,
Yes. And you really gotta like show up for people, and like, I don't give my opinion unless asked. That's how it be. You know what I'm saying? Because people shut down real quick.
They feel like they're being judged. They feel like they're being critiqued, criticized, you know.
Or being told what to do. No one likes being told what to do.
Oh, yeah.
That brings up trauma, you know what I'm saying? If someone always told you what to do your whole life, authority issues, that's a thing. So I gotta make sure that I recognize the equality between me and the person who's sitting across from me.
I'm the same guy. I'm trying to do that right now.
Exactly.
It's exactly. You read my mind.
I was just thinking that.
It's the balance where I'm learning from you too. I'm learning how to react, learning how to talk. I'm new to this.
I love being a podcast host, man.
I do too as well. But
So interesting.
I need to learn so much too. I need to have more presence. Do this. I watch my old interviews like film. I try like a basketball player would watch, like, you know, oh, you did that wrong. Hey, you should have did this.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I do that as well.
Blessings. That works for you, and you want to get better, so you got to do what you got to do.
I try.
That's cool. I respect that.
I think I definitely want to have you back on. I do. I think that there's going to be a lot more topics that we would like to cover, but I think for now, I think I'd like to wrap this up with one more topic of just talking about whole body wellness and what people could do on just little things throughout the day to make sure that they're physically, mentally, whatever it is that they need, just to feel better at the end of the day. What are some tips that you would give people?
I love that you asked me this. So the first tip and the easiest tip that I can give anybody is take 5 minutes of your day, put your phone on Do Not Disturb, turn off all the stimuli, music, nothing, close your door, tell your roommate, give me 5 minutes, turn off the stove, you know, stop drinking water, whatever. 5 minutes. And just lay down. That's it. You know what I'm saying? There's no right or wrong way to do it. You don't got to close your eyes. You don't got to open your eyes. You don't got to watch the way you breathe. You don't got to put your hands this way. You don't got to put your hands this way. You know what I'm saying? Just 5 minutes of your day, no stimuli, and just chill with wherever you're at, whether you're in a room or whether you're outside or whether you take those 5 minutes to eat. Take those 5 minutes, no stimuli, and just stare at your food while you're eating it. You know, that's the first thing that I can tell people is just that stimuli, man. That'll take our attention away from ourselves and the present moment and what can come of the present moment. I just got so happy. And the second tip that I can give people is the physical wellness. Drink water. You know what I'm saying? If you like juice, if you like soda, if you like, you know, coffee, that's cool. I'm not saying stop drinking that. I'm saying just make sure you drink water throughout your day. Whether it's, you know, in a bottle or a gallon a day, you're drinking it just the whole day, or even just 1 cup. If that's the first step that you got to take, 1 cup of water, that's it. Your body needs water to survive, and that is so important. I got headaches before because I didn't drink enough water, and people don't realize the connection between that. You can get headaches and migraines because you don't drink enough water.
Absolutely.
You know. And the third tip that I'll give, let me know whenever you want to cut me off, so I can go. I'll go forever.
Whatever you feel is most important, I would think. I'm not limiting you to no numbers, nothing like that.
Okay,
this
thank
is your
you.
time to speak.
Thank you. That's awesome. The third tip, get familiar with your body. There is a lot of learning and growing and healing that comes with touching yourself. Whether it's just wiggling your thumbs, like, oh, my thumb hurt today, so touch it. See how it feels, just touch it. My head hurts today, touch your head. Whether it's for 2 seconds, but just, if any part of your body hurts, just touch it. My shoulder hurt today, just touch it. You know what I'm saying? Just become familiar with yourself, because this is your vessel, right? This is what allows us to get up and walk in the morning every day. So just like, oh, my nose, damn, I hurt my nose today, just touch it. Randomly, you know what I'm saying? Oh, my jaw, just touch it. That's the best thing. My foot hurts today. A lot of people don't like feet, you know, whatever. But like, if your foot hurts today, just touch it. Just plant your hand just right on top of your foot and just touch it. Get familiar with your body. That's, you know, that's real cool. Yeah, those are 3 tips.
I love it.
3 tips from
Keep it
Delightful.
simple, short, to the point.
Yes.
And is there anything else you would like to add? A message to the people that would listen? Anything that tunes in? What they need to know about you? Where they need to find you at? Just tell the people what they need to know.
Thank you. All right. I mean, the message I'll tell everybody is there's nothing you cannot do. There is nothing you cannot do. It might take time to learn and it might take time to master, but there's nothing you cannot do. So my name is Delightful. You know, we have Delightful Entertainment, Delightful events that we put on in Harrisburg. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at DelightIsFull. DelightIsfull. Delight is full, just like that.
See it on the screen.
Just like that. On my Facebook is Leslie Avila. I teach yoga weekly. We have monthly potlucks, and anything you need to know about what I do is on my social media. You could, put on the notifications. Soon there's going to be a logo. Soon there's going to be a way that everybody will be able to know what is going on in Harrisburg. Leslie is the middleman. Delightful is the middleman between what's going on in Harrisburg. I want to make sure that everybody knows what's going on in Harrisburg, and I want to help people get there. I want to help people have the courage and the motivation and the means to get to where you want to be and to meet the people that you want to meet, aka meet Tyler from Live from the Gazebo.
That sounds like the Gazebo mission right there. Yeah. Shit, honestly.
And that's the thing, though. We're trying to do the same thing,
exactly.
But we have different platforms, different styles, and different audiences. There's enough audience in the world. There's so much abundance that 2 people can do the same thing and still completely be unique in their own ways.
I agree 100%. There needs to be no competition when there could be collaboration. Come on.
People be like, you stole this from me, I'm like, bro,
I talked to him before you know what I'm saying? Like, come on.
There's enough.
I think that we can all learn from each other and grow with more speaking. Just, oh my goodness, just meeting somebody face to face is so much different than, hey, I knew him from Facebook, I knew him from Twitter, Yes. I mean, that's so much different than just like actually connecting in person. I hope we can get back to that soon.
Yes, so. I'm super happy you invited me on your podcast. Thank you so much. I liked it.
Thank you so much, Les.
Yes,
I appreciate you so much.
Yeah.
You're going to find her on Instagram, Twitter, everywhere, Facebook. We're going to have all the details, all the socials. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Blessings. Thank you.
And that's been Live from the Gazebo. Thank you, guys.
Gazebo.